everybody. So this is Jonathan Moore once again with Hometown Historian channel. This is another vlog. I want to wish you all a happy Easter. Hope you guys all fed yourselves well. My sister made a great meal and I ate too much. Trying to lose weight. I have been because I started to gain a little bit of weight back because I like food. But started losing again, so I want to try to continue to do that and get myself back down to the exact weight I want to be. My niece Ella always say you're properly huggable again, because when I got so bony, down to 188 pounds, yeah, she hugs hard, and she was injuring me because I'm all bony. So, but anyways, now I'm not again. I'm properly huggable again. I'm properly squishy, but I'm a little more squishy than I want to be. But with that, we'll have a little bit of a mail time here as well. I got this card from Angela. And it says 2 out of 3 bunnies heard that you're going to have a great Easter. She knows my sense of humor. I laughed out loud on this. Thanks, Angela. Thanks for the note inside. Really do appreciate it. I look forward to filming with you at some point here in the near future. We'll get together on that and decide what works and get your channel started. So Angela's like Colleen, who has Colleen Unvarnished. A number of individuals are talking about starting their own channels, and it's definitely worthwhile doing, and not, I was originally going to wait till I got the nice new camera and all that, and I decided, well, I'll do this with my phone and get started, and it's the best decision I ever made. A lot of fun. So my second card that I got is from Julia. It's in the shape of Pennsylvania, a nice country scene with some barns there. It's a really pretty card. Thank you for the note, Julia, and for the gift. It's most appreciated. Very cool card. I like scenes like that. It's very, very neat. But anyways, so sorry about the close-up of my hideousness, but and the finger. Try to, like, every now and then my finger's like, yeah, I haven't gotten any attention for a while. It's like, blah. So anyways, this video primarily I'm going to deal with what's upcoming over the next probably 2 weeks, because I try to have the vlogs every 2 weeks or so, but I had filmed one version earlier and I just was like, blah, blah, blah. His coughing was coming back, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cut that and restart. And then I started heading towards too much information, because I want to try to make this a little bit of a shorter one. But I had mentioned about Colleen Unvarnished, Colleen, who's given so much to his channel with going out and taking pictures. She was the one that came up with the idea for the viewer submitted videos. So I may try to get the Pearl S. Buck one done, but I have to get the citation thing done for the intro outro. Another thing I learned this last week, I did that last video, Pennsylvania Historic Markers, on Cornwall Iron Furnace. I learned that apparently CapCut does not keep all their songs. So I have been using certain songs for certain series, like the Pennsylvania Historic Marker, Tales of Hometown History, the vlog series, and I had gotten a copyright claim on the one vlog song, which weirdly that song's still there, so I don't really get why I got a copyright claim. It doesn't put the channel or myself in any danger, but my channel's not monetized anyways, so they're not making anything off the videos. So but this one, the song actually disappeared. I always assumed that CapCut owned the rights to those songs or had paid for them. Apparently that only lasts so long or something, so it's something I got to keep a watch on, or maybe find a different service that, I know YouTube, once I get on my laptop, I'll probably start another editing service and then take the songs directly, because YouTube Studio has a whole library of songs, and just go that direction. So you might want to hear new songs. So I'd like to get that camera out somewhere in the near future, maybe in this next 2 weeks, at least practice with it. Maybe I'll put up some stupid video. But yeah, it's just one of those things you learn, and it's just like, sheesh, really? So, and it came up like immediately as soon as I put it up. Once again, I'm not in any danger. The channel's not in any danger. It's just something new thing to be aware of. So I'm going to be starting a new series. It's nothing significant. It's sort of going to be a companion series to the About Town, but especially for towns that maybe say there isn't a whole lot there that I'm going to be able to video. Besides like churches and cemeteries and that type of stuff, there really isn't a main street, things of that nature. at the front of these towns, or at the beginning of those towns, usually on the east and west sides or north and south, whatever the main route is through the town. Like Palmyra here, which is just north of here, where I am right now. On the east and west sides, they have those little blue signs that say, Palmyra. Uh, for instance, Johann Palm started the town or founded the town in the year that he founded it, and it was originally called Palmstown. So that would be on those sites. Not a whole lot of information, but then I'll do anything corresponding with the town, like to add a little bit to the video. But they're probably going to be like 3 or 4 minute videos. But it's just a little bit of information on these different towns. And like I said, it's sort of a companion piece to the Going About Town series. So I'm going to start that up probably at some point. I might even go film the first one today because I want to go do the sign, go to the Johann Palm Memorial, which is at the Municipal Building in Palmyra, and then go to his grave site, which is at B. Knuckles Lutheran. We visited that one before because we did B. Knuckles Lutheran, but I think it'd be a cool piece to add to that video and just talk about it a little bit more. And when I do Annville, for instance, I'll go to the old mill, film a little bit there, talk about Andrew Miller, and just has to do with the founding of the town, the names of the town, that type of stuff. But anyways, my plan is I want to try to get out this week to get that Cornwall and Lebanon Railroad Station on 8th Street. I also like to get Salem Evangelical Lutheran Church to officially start the historic hometown churches series. And then I want to do that Cornwall stuff that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to go to each of those little villages, or probably more appropriately named neighborhoods. Rexmont's probably the only quote-unquote town. And then just walk through that thing a little bit, give you a little bit of a closer up of those cool little villages, because it's so unique. Cornwall is just a very, it's Cornwall town, but it's more Cornwall Township. And it just, a lot of cool stories with these towns. So they're probably not going to be more than like 2 or 3 minute, maybe 4 minute videos at most. But we'll start in Bird Coleman, talk about that, when it was founded, what they built, the reasons for, who was behind it, that type of stuff with that. And I think that'd be a pretty cool series of videos on Cornwall. I'll probably have some more historic marker videos as well. I got to run around and take pictures of some of these historic markers that I've done already, like John Walter, Hanover Resolves, things like that. And that's just a quick run around, get myself 10 pictures, and then I can make my new intro, outro video. And I will also remove that song that has had a copyright claim on it. And then, like I said, at some point, as I'm doing a new camera and doing everything off the laptop, I must start taking all the music off of YouTube Studio, because that I know they have permanent ownership on that stuff, and I don't have to worry about these copyright claims anymore, because I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just for some reason, either because I think one guy had told me they have bots, whatever that is, that goes around and it just makes copyright claims on things. Because Cliff had one where it was his own sound. It was the actual sound where he was filming of the ocean, and some company made a copyright claim on his video saying that they owned all these ocean sounds, which is complete nonsense. So you make a counterclaim and say, this is where it came from, this is where I got it from. At least at the time they had the ownership. I'll remove it, blah blah blah, and then the copyright claim goes away. I think also if they don't make a continue on the claim like 30 days, it goes away anyways. But anyways, continue on the film stuff. I stay focused because I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught one, but I just run around like, oh. So I want to do that Salem Evangelical Lutheran. I want to do a video on the Fraternal Order of Eagles, because that building is across the street on 8th Street in Lebanon. And I'd also like to do the first Going About Town in that historic district of Lebanon. And then even further, I got to see how many pictures I can get, because I'm personally not going to have them in a lot of these theaters. Art Around, I talked about as another companion piece to the Going About Town series. I want to do something on community centers. I've done a lot on churches, which are community centers, important parts of our community, cornerstones of those communities. But I'd like to do ones on movie theaters, especially from the golden age of Hollywood. Some of those movie theaters were just so stately, so classic, just beautiful, beautiful places of entertainment. And there's a whole slew of them that were in Lebanon. None of them, I think one of the buildings is still in existence, but all of them are pretty much gone. But I'd like to do that as the first piece, and then I want to do the Allen at some point. But that's, you got to set up interviews with the owners and things like that. Whether they're, I would assume they'd be willing because it's free advertisement for their business, but it's just to see whether it happens with that. The Pine Grove Theater, which I think that one's going to be a little harder to get into because their schedule's sort of, you don't know what it is sometimes, but I'll try to get a hold of them and be able to get in there because these are the old theaters that exist from back in like the teens and the 20s when it was the silent films, black and white. And I think it'd be cool because a lot of them still have the same architecture inside. So it's just cool to see that, what they were like, and just the classiness of them. That would also include like bowling alleys is another one that I'd like to do because, I mean, a lot of us spend a lot of time in these different bowling alleys. Like I was never avid bowler, but a lot of really cool bowling alleys, and so many of them are gone. Old raceways, that's something that a lot of people, especially in the South, probably more so. I know in my area, there's a lot of really cool old road raceways. There's one in Fredericksburg in particular that hasn't been a raceway, I think, since the 70s. It used to be a baseball stadium, actually. And that might be something I look at doing because, you know, there's such a great history with baseball, America's pastime. So those are all ideas. Those are much further. But the theater thing I might try to get done. It just depends on how much. I have a lot of information on them, but it's very hard to find pictures. And that's the whole point of this, is not only get the outside pictures of the building, but I want to get the inside pictures so you can see the beauty of these places, the elegance, if you will. So those are all things that I'd like to get down to that Conrad Weiser. That might not be in the next 2 weeks, the homestead there. There's also a couple historic markers there. A few other things I was thinking about doing. There's a family that ran quarries called the Burst family, and actually on our mowing route on Friday, we go right past, I guess you would consider it Middletown. Excuse me. Middletown, I think, is what you would consider that area because it's sort of its own area, but I'd like to go and do those and maybe do some videos because there's two. I don't think they're actually Pennsylvania historic markers. They're actually markers like that St. Luke's and Schaeferstown. They're the township or the town themselves put them up. So, but I think those would be cool, and there's a lot of really neat stuff in the area that I haven't visited yet. So, but that's the plans for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully some of these, maybe I'll go get the Johann Palm one done. I'd like to get the next one, the Pearl S. Buck. And now that I have the historical markers, I'd like to do the Dorsey brothers. That's another one that Colleen had. The Lithuanian villages or neighborhoods that she had in Shenandoah, that I'd actually like to go and visit myself. I'll use her pictures, but the architecture on these churches, especially like Eastern European, Eastern Orthodox churches, some of the Roman Catholic churches that are Eastern European influenced, there are some beautiful structures, like really ornate, beautiful, and they have sort of those circular towers and stuff like that, and all different types of colors, like Easter eggs on top of the church. It's just, they're really neat, and that's something you have to see in person. I don't want to load pictures. I want you guys to be able to actually experience seeing the architecture. In Shenandoah, Minersville has quite a few of those. Pottsville, I don't know how many they have, but that area with the coal mining, that area in like Schuylkill County and Carbon County, there's a lot of them, and they are just beautiful, beautiful churches. So that one I'd sort of like to do where I add on to that video and show you a bunch of those really cool neighborhoods and that type of stuff. The Annville Going About Town series, that's probably a month or so away. The Milton Hershey one, I want to use the camera for that, and I want to be very acclimated with it at that point because I'd like to have that series of videos where we deal with like Milton Hershey, Jacob Albright, John Walter, the different church leaders, the early fathers of the American churches, Robert Reese, I believe it's Robert, no, it's not Robert Reese, H.B. Reese, sorry, who made Reese Peanut Butter Company. I'd like to do a video on him. and a number of other influential individuals in this area. I'd like to make that a series that's very, very professional looking. So I want to get myself comfortable with doing that. And as I go further and further in this Going About Town series, I also want to make those very professional looking. So different filming perspectives, different unique things, especially once I start interviewing people. I want to be able to put their name, what they do, that type of stuff. So like the modern hometown history heroes that are, like Friends of Old Annville, Philip M. Fulmer, Joe Allen Litz, Lebanon County Historical Society, and then as I go into some of these other areas, their historical societies and individuals that have done a ton to try to preserve history. I think that's important to showcase that, show people that, and organizations that are worth supporting and checking out, like the resources that they have for historical information is phenomenal. Like what I'm doing isn't possible without them. So I believe that's all, I think. So this is a little shorter than most of them have been. Most of them, they go up to 25, 30 minutes. So I wanted to make a little shorter. Downloads is sort of a thing too, because it takes forever. But anyways, with that, I want to say thank you as always. And we're going to continue going about town, finding more hometown history. And we will see you all about town. Thanks, everybody.